Hello everyone. I wanted to share a small little story about a little miracle. Some of you might remember I made a Facebook Live video a couple of weeks ago, and I spoke about that miracles do exist if we surrender to the higher power. And a day after I made that video, this thought had come to me that I should talk about something that was very important to me, but I chickened out, and I had doubts in if I should share with the whole world, because it made me look vulnerable and made me kind of in a very soft spot, which I didn't want to be. But over 3 weeks, it just kept coming to me, and I realized this is not about me as a person. This is about greater good, because there are a lot of people out there who are on the same boat as me, and we need not be in that boat forever for the rest of our lives, because our life is a gift from God, and we should express in however we seem fit, and we shouldn't let others or anyone tell us how we need to be. So this is something that had come from the universe that I should share. And it's a healing process for me, and it also shows gratitude towards the Guru Parampara that my Guruji is part of. So it's a little background story to it, so I'm not going to take too much of your time. So I have to go in the backstory, because that just shows you where I come from. So I grew up in India, and as a small child, I was very shy, and I saw things growing up which were not too pleasant. And having to live with distant, in one big family, not a nuclear family, there was a lot of things that I witnessed which were not pleasant, and but there was no way to communicate with anybody and express what you felt, because it was a norm. And in doing so, as a child, not realizing that it was further blocking the throat chakra, the energy centers we have all over our body, and one of them is throat chakra. So, and going to school didn't really make it better, because in school the teachers always put you in spot if you got something wrong, or they make you stand up and recite something. If you didn't know the right answer, you were kind of humiliated. So it was part of childhood where you were not allowed to speak. I think most of the Indian kids are like that. Maybe back in the days it was like that. But that was my experience. And further down the road, we all came to America. And I was so glad to be done with leaving India, because it was not fruitful for me. And thinking that coming to USA will be fruitful and pleasant, I look forward to it. Little did I know that things are not as rosy as they seem. And as a child, I always had short hair, because in India, a lot of girls just kind of have short hair. That's what I grew up with. So when I came to America, girls here usually have long hair. So I was made fun of a lot of things that were part of my existence, like short hair. I was from India, I was Hindu, I was smelly, I smelled like curry, I was ugly, so kids bullied me. They pushed me around. If I would sit down, they would pull the chair, so I would kind of fall down. They would steal my things. One of them actually told me that I was so ugly that no one will marry me, even in their dreams. So all these bad things kind of compounded in my mind, and it was not a good place to be, especially when you're trying to speak up and there's no one to speak up to. Of course, they were friends, but you can't really talk about those things with them. Couple of years down the road, I decided to grow my hair. So growing hair brought in different kind of attention, which I wasn't even aware of, because I hardly spoke, but I was getting attention from opposite sex, which was very confusing to me. And that went on for quite a number of years. All this time, I lived with this kind of confused state, with jumbled up emotions, thoughts, not having clear way of expressing myself. It was always a very, very tough time for me to express. I could speak to people in one-on-one, but just having a normal conversation was never a pleasant thing for me. And during college, I realized that I had such fear of public speaking that I couldn't even, it was something that I ran away from. I would have chosen death over speaking in public. It was that deep-rooted fear that I had. Even when I got married, I was given a microphone to speak. I started crying because my emotions got so, it took over me. My mind became blank and I got hot and the anxiousness came over. It was not a pleasant experience even at my wedding. And down the road, I had kids. And even when I became mom, I was picked on that I was not being a good mom because I was not communicating with them properly. I was not teaching them things properly. So it was one thing after the other. All the things that I wanted to express that were good in me were just not coming out properly. Whatever I meant to say, something else would come out. It was always perceived in a negative way. So I was shied away from really expressing things to people. I kind of shut down. So my life started transforming when I met Mohanji in 2016. So I went on pilgrimages with him. I went on, little satsangs, spent a little time with him in whatever way I could. And in those little moments, somehow things started getting clearing up for me. I don't know how to explain it, but just being in his energy field, some things changed and shifted in me. I had more clarity, and I started following simple things that he recommended, as to feeding animals and birds, and feeding. Just that was the number one thing that I took from him, was just taking care of everyone around you. That helped me release a lot of the things that were clogging my thought process, and just being aware of his teachings and being aware of just things that were not feeling good. Just let it, you feel, you let it be in the moment, and you don't have to burst out. So on one of the trips I took with him was to Kailash. In 2017 it was, and I was casually chatting with him, and he mentioned that he was planning on starting this program where it was something like a Gurukul in India, where kids come and they learn everything from Vedas to Homas to mantras, everything that the Indians did back in the days. So I was like, wow, he's thinking about doing that, and I said to him, I would love to be part of that. And then the conversation ended, and time flew by. 2 years down the road, this Acharya training was announced, Mohanji Acharya training. And of course, my name was recommended at that time, but I knew that it was a public platform and there's no way I would be able to do this. I shied away from it, but somehow I was convinced to do otherwise. And I took that as a cue that maybe this is what Mohanji was telling me about 2 years before. And I took it as a cue that maybe it was his way of telling me to apply for it. So just based on that hunch, I went with it, and I told God that I'm doing this, but make it happen for me, because you know that I cannot do this. I don't have it in me to do this. So from 2016 to becoming an Acharya, I've had numerous platforms given to me to express myself, be it writing, be it being part of some group where I was able to speak, and I'm part of this kids program here in New York where I'm recently took up teaching them. So all these things have had an impact on me where I was given a chance to express myself and not be judged like I was as a child and as growing up. So comes the Acharya training, I spoke to Mohanji, I cannot do this, I cannot, it's not easy for me. And he never really, this is not the first time I actually expressed to him. I've done it a couple of times, and he had recommended certain things to me earlier, but last time he just said, stop entertaining these fears. It's not you. The tradition will speak through you. I will speak through you. Have no fears. And that's it. He never really said anything to me afterwards, and I never questioned him. And after the Acharya training, he also gave me a new name. So a lot of things shifted after the Acharya training for me. I started noticing that my thoughts, my speech, my clarity, everything just started improving day by day. I realized that it was not coming from me. Something else was happening, something I could not explain to anybody. It's 6 now, it's almost 6, 7, I'm not sure how many months it's been since the training, but I could tell you that I completely understand what Mohanji told me back in June of 2019, that have no fear. The tradition, the Parampara is standing behind you. You're not alone. They will speak through you. They're always with you, holding your hand. And as I speak and I teach children on these Zoom videos, I'm communicating with people. I don't think it's me communicating at all. I feel like something just takes over and speaks through me and helps me be more confident in what I do. And that has given me more power to believe in myself and believe that I am worth like I'm worth something. And that has helped me to grow as an individual and believe in myself. And I'm forever grateful to being where I am, and thank God for listening to me, for making me capable at this point in my life where I can help someone else to choose to come out of their fears, because it's not permanent. If you surrender to the higher almighty God, anything is possible. A miracle is possible. And I'm really glad that I did not have the ability to speak well as a child, because I might have abused it, and I may not have valued it. Only having this gift now, you value it, and it's more meaningful. And sorry, I'm just losing it right now, but it's as you can see, it's very deeply painful where I came from and where I have come. So I'm sorry for this outburst, but if you think that, if you know somebody who is not in their best position, let's not make fun of them. Always uplift people, not suppress them further, because that only adds to making them feel that they're not worth it. And that's not what we want. We want to uplift people, make them love of who they are, because everybody is unique. Everyone is a gift to this earth. And I'm happy that I was able to express this, because it is a very difficult topic for me to talk about in video. And I wanted to do this on video because I wanted to be able to share it with others who who might be on the same boat as me, and who might think that having some kind of deficit is end of the world. But it's not end of the world. Miracles do happen, as this is my miracle that I'm able to do this. So thank you for listening to me, and thank you for being part of this this video. And if any one of you would like to share what has transformed you, please do share, and just let's make it happen for everyone. Just give these gratitude stories so we are helping each other express what's important to us in this time. So this is my gratitude story towards my Guru, and all the people who have made this happen for me, where I am right now. And thank you. Namaste.